You know that one conversation, the one from 5 years ago where you said that slightly awkward thing, and for some reason your brain just keeps playing it back on an endless loop? It feels like you're trapped in a mental replay, forced to watch a movie you hate projected on the wall. You are playing two roles at once, the one stuck in the cycle and the one keeping the film running. This exhausting experience isn't a personal failing. It is a common psychological trap, and because it's built on a specific internal mechanism, it can be dismantled with the right tools. Clinical psychologists call this endless replay rumination. The word actually comes from the Latin for how a cow chews its cud, chewing, swallowing, bringing it back up, and chewing it all over again. That's a perfect picture of what your brain is doing. It takes a tough, unresolved memory and chews on it endlessly, trying to break down the emotional weight. But while a cow gets calories from that process, you receive zero psychological nourishment. You simply burn energy until your body and mind are completely drained. Your brain operates as a survival machine. When you have an unresolved, emotionally charged interaction, your mind flags it as an active threat to your social standing. It's trying to protect you from being outcast, even if its methods are outdated. This diagram shows the brain's logic sequence during those moments. Stress hormones flood your system, and your amygdala, the tiny threat detector, goes on high alert. It prioritizes the high emotion spike, permanently encoding that awkward failure into your recall, while discarding the flatline data of mundane daily events. Then there is the default mode network, or DMN, your brain's screensaver. It boots up during idle moments, defaulting to thoughts about ourselves. When these connections synchronize, it causes rumination. The DMN becomes a high-speed track, pulling your mind into a depressive spiral. This is the difference between productive reflection and rumination. Reflection yields new insights that help you move on. Rumination is just a self-sustaining biological misfire. Depending on your cognitive habits, this mental loop tends to diverge down one of two specific timelines. First is the rumination pattern. This is an obsessive, past-focused investigation. Your brain endlessly reviews old evidence, trying to solve unprocessed emotional wounds from yesterday. The second is catastrophic thinking. This is a fast forward into future disasters. Here, your mind inflates one small error, like an awkward comment in a meeting, into total social or financial ruin. If you grew up in a home where small mistakes led to big, unpredictable consequences, your brain learned to stay on high alert. Treating uncertainty as an imminent danger was once a necessary survival tactic. It's a learned response, not a permanent character flaw. To stop the loop, you have to move from feeling the thought to observing it. When you silently label the experience, saying, this is rumination, you shift the mental activity from emotional centers to the logical parts of the brain. This simple act of categorization creates the exact distance needed to completely halt the automatic momentum of the cycle. Your first instinct will be to forcefully suppress the memory, but pushing it away creates mental friction, feeding more energy directly back into the circuit you're trying to break. A more effective approach is cognitive diffusion. By viewing your thoughts as passing, temporary events, like clouds drifting across the sky, you strip them of their power. They are just mental events, not a reflection of reality. You can also try scheduled rumination. When the urge to worry hits, set an appointment for 10 minutes later in the evening. Postponing the worry deprives the thought loop of the immediate emotional fuel it needs to stay active. When you drop the struggle, you remove the friction powering the system. Active disengagement defeats mental resistance more effectively than wrestling with it. Once you've disengaged mentally, your brain still requires concrete physical action to fully pull its focus out of the internal simulation and back into the present world. The 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique acts as a sensory circuit breaker. It forces the brain to process immediate data: 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear, 2 you can smell, and 1 you can taste. This interrupts the internal loop with external reality. An immediate change in physical state provides the biological proof your brain needs to move on. Doing 10 quick push-ups or simply walking outside confirms to your survival hardware that the threat has passed. These steps are a practiced psychological skill. The first few times you try them, you might feel clumsy or find yourself back in the loop moments later. That initial friction is part of the process and doesn't mean the system is failing. That mental loop is a phantom constructed by glitchy biology and old instincts. By fully mastering these physical and psychological steps, you will permanently retain the power to finally walk free.